you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. We got Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Ladies things that makes it visual. Welcome to 16 years, 28 episodes of the Chris Voss Show, where you bring in all the most amazing minds, the most amazing people, the most amazing ideas that uplift your life, make it better, and all that good stuff. Because we're not that kind of show that makes your life worse, and we don't platform garbage. So you just have to go to another podcast for that, I guess. But if you want to be uplifted, you want your life to be better and not miserable, listen to the Chris Voss Show. The attorneys say I can't guarantee that, but wink, wink. Trust me, you'll be fine. Anyway, guys, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, Facebook.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. And what is it? What's the other one? YouTube.com/Chris Voss. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today, an amazing young lady on the show with us today. We're going to be talking about her insightful new app that she's got. I'm not sure if it's new, but it's new to me, so I'm just running with that. Amy Vincze joins us on the show today. She has been a dedicated professional in the health and wellness industry for over 20 years. She's a certified tapping coach for over 16 years, and she brings a wealth of expertise to her work. With tapping, Amy has witnessed profound transformations both in her own life and in the lives of her clients. She's even used tapping to heal herself from painful chronic medical conditions. As the founder of Soar with Tapping app, Amy is on a mission to make the life-changing benefits of tapping accessible to people everywhere. She firmly believes that tapping is one of the most powerful and transformative healing tools available today. Welcome to the show, Amy. How are you?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. Give us your .coms. How can people find out more about you on the interwebs?
You can go to my website, soarwithtapping.com. That's SOARWITHTAPPING.com. Or you can email me, amy@soarwithtapping.com. I'm on all of the social media platforms. And yeah.
So give us a 30,000 overview what you do there.
I am a tapping coach, and many people have not heard about tapping. They often confuse it with the dance, tap dancing. But it is very, very different. And it is one of the most powerful healing modalities that I've ever come across. For those people that don't know, tapping is a really powerful combination of 3 different modalities. The first of which is acupuncture. The energy healing that comes with acupuncture is the very same that we use with tapping, but instead of the needles being put into acupressure points, we actually use the percussion of tapping on our acupressure points. It also includes another aspect of therapy, cognitive therapy, just like traditional talk therapy, includes while you're tapping on your energy meridians and acupressure points, you are actively talking about whatever it is you want to release. So if there's anger or resentment or some fear or some trauma, you're talking about it while you're tapping on your body.
Oh, wow. And so does that create a disassociation maybe of that feeling an event?
What it does is that it allows you to feel it in a really safe space. And I'll explain kind of what's happening on a biological level in just a second. The third modality is somatic therapy, which is kind of the basis of all kind of meditation and mindfulness practices. Somatic therapy is about getting ourselves grounded in the present moment, kind of quieting down that monkey brain of ours and just tapping into the present moment. When most of us are worried about something that happened in the past and or catastrophizing about the future, the act of physically tapping on our body can't help but kind of gather all of our energy back in this present moment where we are the most powerful and most efficient versions of ourselves. So all 3 of those things happening at once is a really powerful combo. What's happening on a biological level when we get stressed is that that stress center of our brain, the amygdala, has been triggered somehow. Somehow, 99% of the time, we don't even know it's been triggered, but it's been triggered somehow, and we feel stress or anxiety or depression or any one of those things. And what it's done is it has released a rush of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, released a ton of it into our bodies. It has started shutting down non-essential functions like our digestive system and our immune system, which over time, this can cause some really significant problems. So it does that because we are in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. And it is in an extreme situation, it is rushing all of the blood to the areas of the body that it thinks we're going to need it so that we can get ourselves safe again.
Yeah. Fight or flight. You know, you gotta sometimes, you know, I do that anytime I see salad.
Anytime the phone rings these days, right?
Run away from the salad.
We're in a perpetual state of stress. It's even become.
Is there anything stressful happening in the world today? Death, disease, famine? Are you sure?
Yeah. And it's even become a badge of honor in the professional world. If you're not stressed, then you're probably not being successful, or something along those lines.
Or worse, you're dead. You're not stressed when you're dead. At least that's what I've heard. I mean, I don't have firsthand.
But being in that chronic state really takes a toll on us physically and emotionally over time.
Yeah, especially when you're dead.
So being able to kind of cut down or shorten that process and even repair from that process is really essential for us to be able to live a happier life. When you're tapping on those acupressure points, what you're doing over and over again is telling that stress center in your brain, the amygdala, to de-escalate. De-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. It's okay to stand down in this moment. That guard dog of your amygdala can quiet down and go to sleep and let your brain function and your body function as it normally would. And when it does that, it is taking the stress hormone cortisol out of your body 43% faster than if you had done nothing else. It is lowering your heart rate, lowering your blood pressure, increasing your immune system response, and overall creating a happier environment for yourself. So it's a really powerful, really fast, and effective tool to make big changes in your body and your mind.
Now, you mentioned the 3 different ways that people can tap. One is a percussion thing that can help tap. Now, I've got some enemies that I find really annoying. And can I do the tapping on them with a baseball bat? Is that a method that is adhered to or not?
Chris, I think that's discouraged in all forms of the law. But yeah.
All right, where's my pen? I got to write this down. Note to self.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference between, tap with your fingers or what is a tapping device that you normally use for that percussion type tapping?
It's
use a set of drumsticks or
just your fingers. You don't need anything. You can tap anywhere, anytime, just your fingers. If you know where the tapping points are, then you can tap on them. You tap on them in a certain order and you just talk about whatever it is that is not going right or, want to change.
Yeah.
So
let me try here. I don't want to kill my enemies and hit them with a baseball bat.
If you've got a phobia of flying or something like that, you can tap on all the fears about flying. If you can't sleep at night, you can tap on how your mind is racing and it's just not going to quiet down enough for you to be able to close your eyes and rest. So I tap on absolutely everything, and it has changed my life, as you can imagine, in really profound ways.
And you've been doing it for 16 years. Coaching people.
I have been certified for 16 years. I've been doing tapping probably more like 18 or 19 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's worked for you. You help your clients go through it. Now, you've developed this app. Let's talk about how this app works and how you help people through that.
Because a lot of people don't know about tapping, there's a lot of instructional videos on the app for not only how to tap, but where to tap. There's 160 at the current time, 160 different tapping scripts that you can follow along with, because a lot of people don't know what to say when they're tapping. They don't know how to even maybe verbalize whatever it is they're experiencing. the scripts will lead you through it, and they tell you where to tap and what to say at each different tapping point, and just kind of hold your hand through the healing process on even some bigger issues like anxiety, depression, procrastination, addiction, all of those issues. There's videos for how to approach it, what to start tapping on first, and then how to progress forward as you continue to heal.
Now, I think I've done some tapping in the past, but it might have been banging my head up against the wall, or, I don't know, punching my head with my fist when I'm pissed.
Well, if you're tapping in the right spot, it might just have done some good. You never know.
Might have. I think I got a small concussion one time, but that would explain everything, though. So, now tell us about some of the services you offer on your website in addition to the app. Do you do consulting, coaching, speaking on that as well?
Yes, I do corporate workshops because this is a tool that is easily applied to stress and issues that will affect the workplace activity and things like that. Corporate environments are a good match for what I do and what I talk about. I do events where I have an event coming up where I'm talking about and tapping through the wisdom of feminine rage.
Wisdom of feminine rage. There you go. Yeah. Do I want to go to that if I'm a man, or is that the dangerous place to be? It sounds like maybe if it's
not going to be focused on men, so hopefully it wouldn't feel dangerous for you. But traditionally, women have not allowed that real angry part of themselves to ever come out, and it happens at great cost over time to themselves. So just trying to honor the fact that anger is an important emotion, and it doesn't always have to be destructive, but it is important to be able to find your truth and speak your truth and also create boundaries.
As long as it doesn't make you want to take a baseball bat to your enemies, like I joked about at the beginning of the show, then it's okay.
This is all about releasing anger and getting it to a balance point where we're not living there and we're not suppressing it.
Yeah. I mean, when you suppress feelings, when you hold stuff back or suppress trauma or different things, it just kind of festers like a poison. Yeah. You ever seen those things that women go to? I mean, largely it seems women go to. I'm just going off the pictures I see, and they'll go and they'll yell like in the forest and stuff. Is that kind of what this is like, maybe, or is it a speaking engagement audience thing?
It'll be an online event where there's a little bit of instruction to just tell people how important it is to be able to engage with anger when it's necessary. But the rest of the time, we're just going to be tapping. We're going to be tapping on how scary anger feels sometimes and being able to allow it. But then we're also going to tap on kind of the collective rage that we feel for all the many, many atrocities that are committed against women on a daily basis. Because when you start to allow anger, sometimes that type of anger can feel overwhelming. And so we tap on that to bring it back to a balance point. Yeah. So we're just going to be doing a lot of tapping and hopefully healing.
Yeah, I've seen these retreats that women do on TikTok and Instagram, and they go in the woods and they just like really unleash, whatever they're angry about. They yell and they scream at the top of their lungs. It's kind of like one of those. You ever seen those new rage? They're in all the malls now. The rage rooms, I think they're called, and they have just stuff that you can just destroy with baseball bats or. Oh,
interesting.
They're destruction rooms. Have you heard of these?
I have not. No,
they're pretty wild. I believe they're called rage rooms. They're kind of like escape rooms. I guess we're in the rooms now or something. That's the thing. Rage room. Rage rooms? Yeah. Do I have the right term? Yeah. So they'll have smash rage rooms, and you go there, and they just have all this junk, and they have graffiti on the walls, and like they have whatever you want to destroy. Like I used to destroy a lot of printers back in the day because I try and work them and they wouldn't work, and you just finally that. I think that whole scene in Office Space where they take baseball bats to the printer, fax machine. That's pretty much what I was always going through back then. So I could feel that, but they just
feels pretty cathartic, right?
Yeah, they just go beat the crap out of us. I'm kind of worried because I've thrown my back out beating on printers, being angry and hitting stuff, and I don't know, man. There's some damage you can do to yourself if you're not careful. I mean, swinging a baseball bat, hitting something hard, that tones through your whole body. But, people like it. I mean, God forbid.
Screaming in the woods is just as good. You never know.
Yeah. Screaming in the woods is good. That's what we do on Fridays around here in the Chris Voss Show. We just go in the woods and take some edibles and scream and then cry a lot or something. And then we laugh it off once the edibles kick in.
Yeah.
This sounds like a really awful party. So you help people walk through these. Now, do you focus on one of those three elements of tapping, or do you just focus on the percussion part?
They're all happening simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
The cognitive, the energy therapy, and the somatic, they're all happening simultaneously when you're tapping on your body. So, yeah, I'm doing all three.
Tap in the body. I did try to put a tap in me once to see if beer would come out, and that didn't work. These are the I don't know a lot about tapping, folks. These are the best jokes I can come up with on the fly. You're just gonna have to laugh out how silly they are. Yeah, so these smash and grab rooms, they're like everywhere. They're like usually next to escape rooms, and escape rooms, they're like a whole new puzzle of, what's the word I'm looking for? Masochism. Like if you want to live trapped in a place where you have to fight to stay alive and get the hell out, it's kind of like the movie Saw, only without the horror and blood as much, I guess. I don't know. I'm doing fine just watching, I don't know, the news and what's going on social media
that's enough to induce anxiety. I don't need
some other place I need to escape from. I'm still trying to escape from here.
Yeah.
Take me to another planet, aliens, please. Oh my God, beat me up.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are some stories maybe that you could share of helping your clients, maybe someone who had a real breakthrough and it really helped them to discover tapping?
I'll tell you that phobias are generally really, really easy to dislodge and can be totally neutralized within 1 or 2 sessions. I just had a woman last week that struggled with a lifelong phobia of throwing up.
Oh.
And we did 2 tapping rounds. A full session for me is 90 minutes, and we went 60 minutes, and she felt totally calm and completely fine about. Nobody likes throwing up, but it was no longer the panic. She no longer felt the panic about it. She said she used to, the minute she started feeling nauseated, she would start screaming, begging for people for help. Help her, please, because it was so scary for her. And
really? Wow.
Yeah, she felt really calm by the end. And that's been my experience working with people with, because they don't have an associated trauma. But if they have a phobia of flying or something like that, really easy to get rid of.
What if I have a phobia of tapping? No, I'm just kidding.
We can tap for that.
We can tap for it. We can tap into that in your brain.
I have cured myself of chronic lower back pain.
Oh, wow.
And chronic UTIs. Had thousands of UTIs over the years. And,
really?
And when I started tapping on the underlying cause and the issues that created it, the pain goes away.
Oh, wow.
The pain goes away. And I worked on tapping on my lower back pain for maybe 2 hours, and I haven't had a problem since. And
wow.
It's 8 years.
Chronic pain. Now, how about trauma? You mentioned trauma. We talk a lot about trauma on the show, the effect it has, and how it can have over a lifetime. How does it work with trauma if people have that?
It works with trauma in that it accesses all of the feelings around the trauma. You're releasing the feelings about the trauma by speaking about them. And when you're tapping on your body and speaking about them and feeling them at the same time, you're also telling that stress center in your brain that it's okay to feel safe and calm. You are in the present moment. Basically, you are no longer in that situation, and that situation no longer exists. So you're kind of creating a safe bubble to experience the trauma, and it's going to go you're going to be able to move through it at a different pace depending on the person. It is so effective for people with PTSD, especially wartime PTSD.
Oh, really?
They have a free program for veterans to do tapping with coaches. And they have shown that after a short period of time, I can't remember how long they tapped, but it might have been as short as a month. The people that participated in the study no longer satisfied all the markers for PTSD. So they were no longer considered a PTSD patient anymore because they were now able to sleep. They didn't have the same levels of anxiety or depression or anything along those lines. So within a very short period of time, you can really decrease all of those markers for stress-induced.
Wow. Yeah, emotion. It's interesting to me how many times, especially like trauma and emotion, can be stored in the body, and the body.
That's all trauma is emotion.
Yeah.
If you can't remember it without feeling horrible or feeling panicked or something along those lines, then there is unresolved emotion that needs to be processed out of your body. And the safest container to do that in is with tapping that I know of, because it's constantly calming that stress center of your brain, and it's also releasing emotions at the same time. That's why it's so fast. I mean, you can go through cognitive therapy alone for years and achieve the same results with tapping in weeks, months, depending on how quickly you want to, or how much you want to devote yourself to it.
Tapping. And I'm glad it works for a lot of people, a lot of people, especially people with trauma or PTSD, like you talk about, or heightened emotions that they find uncontrollable. These sort of things maybe can help get that under control and maybe disassociate those feelings or emotions. I'm not sure what the science is on it. Clearly, I'm just meandering here, just filling. And it can help hopefully get control for those things from the experience you've had and everything else. And maybe I should send you some referrals of my enemies so you can work with them. But can you tap them can you teach them to tap themselves with a baseball bat?
You wish.
I can dream. Dream, can I? See, this. I'm using that same thing that we were talking about earlier, where people use a way to, cleanse their emotions by exercising them. So that's what I'm doing here on the show by talking about revenge on my enemies. That makes it so I don't have to exercise.
Just talking, not into action.
So, Amy, what do you see the future being for your app? Are you going to move into other things, expand it into maybe some other services? Anything coming in the future for you that we should know about?
Tapping is definitely my thing. I will continue to expand the app as much as I can and make it as usable for as many people as possible. I'll continue to add scripts and different ways of saying things. So whatever appeals to people, I'm going to try and create that for them. I'm going to continue to work with individual clients because that's one of my absolute favorite things to do. And it's my mission to educate people. So corporate workshops and other events, I will continue to coordinate.
Now, if the app is on my phone and I just start hitting someone with my phone, is that the same as tapping?
I don't recommend that either, Chris.
Note to self, that's not going to work either.
Yeah.
I don't know. This tapping thing sounds like a lot of fun to do to other people. Maybe I'll go tap and bang my head against the wall there for a while because I can't get away with any of this stuff. Now, I noticed here that on your website, tapping is a Chinese energy meridian. Tell us a little about what's the history of tapping? Does this go back to early Chinese history?
Energy meridians, Chinese people discovered it, almost thousands of years ago, I think. So it's been around forever. But tapping itself was developed, I think it was the late 70s. There was a psychotherapist who was working with a woman who had a severe phobia of water, couldn't bathe or anything like that because she just couldn't be around water. And he, at the time, was also studying energy meridians, and she happened to feel the fear of water in her stomach. And so he told her, why don't you tap on your stomach meridian while you are talking about this fear? And she did that, and she had, what's called a 1-minute miracle, basically, and was completely cured of her phobia.
Oh, wow.
This psychotherapist then took that and developed it into something called thought field therapy. And it was rather complicated in that you would only tap on certain energy meridians for certain ailments. And then one of his students, Gary Craig, took it one step further, and he just engineered it to the point where we're tapping on all of the energy meridians while we're talking about whatever it is we want to release, so that we're making sure that everybody can make it as usable as possible. And we just keep tapping through the points over and over again. So if it is the stomach meridian that needs to be hit, it's going to be hit many, many times while we're going through the process. So he engineered it in that way. And it has become even more simplified since then. And there have been great advancements made in actually how to tap, and meaning that you really kind of lean into the uncomfortable emotions first, whatever they are. You lean into the fear, you lean into the trauma, or the, whether it's anger or hurt or sadness or grief or whatever it is. You really talk about that a lot and experience it a lot. And then when we do this rating on a scale from 0 to 10. It's a really subjective rating, but it's hard to, quantify the emotional journey. So you might start working on something and you might feel the intensity of it at a 10, and then you just keep tapping and tapping and tapping until you get down to like maybe a 3 or 4, using all of the, just kind of honoring and acknowledging over and over again the uncomfortable nature of the emotion. And then when you get down to a 3 or 4, that's when your mind and your body will start to believe all of the positive reinforcement that you can give yourself. Maybe that actually isn't true. Maybe that person didn't hurt me on purpose. Maybe they just didn't know better, or maybe they haven't done enough healing themselves to understand how much it impacted me. So we start kind of poking holes in whatever it is our fear or our belief is, and then we can go completely down the positive road and neutralize it down to a 0 in a really short period of time.
That's pretty wild. I mean, it's something that can make people healthier, and, controlling emotions. I mean, people that get caught up with their emotions, and sometimes they can become overwhelming or swirl, that can have some issues. People get depressed and they kind of get caught in this loop of emotions and depression where, their mind is just constantly, hitting them over the head with, negative thoughts. And, this is the time you did something dumb. And, see, my favorite time is at night when I'm trying to go to bed. My brain starts playing all this stupid shit I've done throughout my life. So here's something dumb you did in 1995. And I'm like, do you have something better to do, buddy? Could come up. I'm trying to sleep.
It's funny though, Chris. The problem is we don't engage with the emotions in a way where we actually feel them. We will actually intellectualize them, and that isn't the thing that gets rid of it. It's actually feeling the emotion in our body that will do it. And it only takes 90 seconds. If we can stay with an emotion for 90 seconds and actually feel it, that is how long it takes for it to start dissipating. No. So we've just never been taught or encouraged to lean into our emotions like that. And I think that's the thing that has led us down the path of so many people suffering from anxiety and depression and PTSD today, because we haven't learned how to process this. And tapping is a great way to do it gently and easily.
I love it. People can download it on their iPhone or their Google app, their Google phone, their Android phone, all that good stuff. As we go out, give people a final pitch out, how they can reach out to you, how they can onboard for your consulting services, download the app, et cetera, et cetera.
You can always email me, amy@soarwithtapping.com. You can go to the Google or Apple Play stores and just search Soar with Tapping. And I look forward to hearing your messages and hopefully your testimonials about how well tapping has worked for you.
And you can download it. It's as easy as that. That's what we do nowadays. We download everything.
Yes. There's a 14-day free trial.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So give it a try. And there's no harm can be done by just trying it. So, suspend judgment until you actually give it a shot and see if it works for you.
Thank you very much, Amy, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And thanks to us for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss1 on the TikTokity and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.
All right, Amy, we're out.